Hey there, my name is DG Valdron. I'm a writer, and I review things and I make snarky comments. So, welcome to my channel. Hit like and subscribe if you want to, or don't. Doesn't really matter to me. We're going to talk about the Marvels today, and I know that it's gotten a lot of flack, and I'm going to warn you, there's going to be spoilers. I mean, I don't really care. This is not the usual suspects. This is not the Sixth Sense. This is Marvel's, which is a movie that, nobody really cares about the plot. I mean, not even the people who wrote it cared about the story. That's pretty obvious. But if you're concerned, then just feel free, because it's not going to get better. So, what really struck me about the Marvels, the thing that I liked the most about this film was Brie Larson's expression because she looks horrified. She looks absolutely horrified to be in this movie. She looks like every scene she's just desperately waiting for the director to call cut, praying that he'll call cut. It's amazing. Her whole presentation, her attitude is like it's as if she's at this party, this really fancy party, and she's wearing this beautiful dress and she's having a great time, and then somebody comes up and gives her a baby, and she doesn't even know whose baby it is. She just winds up holding a baby, and she doesn't even like babies, and it pukes all over. It just woof right all over her dress, her gown, her whole thing, and then they take the baby away, and she's standing there in the middle of this crowd with everybody looking at her, covered with baby barf. That's Brie Larson in this movie. Every scene, deer in the headlights. I swear to God, you know what? Somebody should just, go into this movie, compile all of the bits with Brie Larson's horrified expressions, and just run that as a YouTube video. I would watch the hell out of that. And I do feel a little bit bad for Larson. I mean, look, here she is. She's a real actress. She's been in real movies. And she starred in Captain Marvel, and now here she is in this plotless mess. And she's not even the star, really. She's like third or fourth um, ranked. I mean, she's being upstaged by like a kid, and by cats, and by angry black women, and all this CGI special effects, and it really does feel like they were going out of their way to humiliate her in this movie. I swear. Like in one scene, no, two scenes, they make her wear a jellyfish hat. Why? No reason at all. Okay, it's just one scene. It's like, Brie, put on this jellyfish hat. Another scene, Brie, you need to wear the jellyfish hat. And then that's it. They forget about it. I mean, who does that to an actress, right? So yeah, if you're not a big fan of Brie Larson, watching her pain and suffering is probably an enthusiastic thing to do. And if you're a fan of Brie Larson, you probably want to stage a rescue. So that's the Marvels for me. I mean, she's not alone in the movie. There's a couple of other actors and actresses. There's the villain, Zaw Ashton, who plays somebody named Dar-Ben. Honestly, the woman has these gigantic space lips. Are they prosthetic? Are they real? Are they artificial? I don't know. She looks a little like Emilia Clarke if you turned Emilia Clarke into a mannequin and then removed any trace of personality from the mannequin. And I mean, she just goes through the whole movie looking vaguely concerned and upset, like she's in high school and she's worried about whether she's going to be invited to a party. It's like that level of emoting. Um, and honestly, the script doesn't give her much to work with, so maybe that's not really her fault, but really just bland and colorless. She's supposed to be wielding a hammer, but apparently she missed out on all the physical training that they give to other Marvel superheroes and supervillains, so she's got this big styrofoam hammer that she can barely, wield or move around. Anyway, there's Teyonah Parris, who featured in a supporting role in WandaVision. And she got her superpowers by walking through a magic wall. Like, that's it. I mean, that's not even the craziest thing. Imana Vellani, who plays Miss Marvel, gets her superpowers by, Federal Express. Somebody delivers a bangle to her. And there you go. Tiona Paris basically plays cranky. That's her whole vibe through the whole movie. She's cranky and upset. Theoretically, it's because she has some baggage with Captain Marvel, but really, I think she's just kind of annoyed with her agent for getting her in this movie. The only character who looks like they're having a good time is Iman Vellani, who I've mentioned. She starred as Miss Marvel in a TV show on Disney that nobody watched. And now she's in a movie, and she just looks thrilled to be there. She emotes, she screams, she laughs, she has a personality. Everybody says she's the standout in this movie, and you can tell she's having fun. Possibly it's the Ritalin, possibly it's way too much caffeine, head injury. But if you want my theory, she's enjoying herself because she figures this movie is going to pay her way through university and probably her master's degree and her PhD and her house and her parents' house and her grandparents' house. So all she has to do is just come on stage, say some lines, and she's set. Why not? I can imagine she's just thrilled. Um, and then I have to talk about the movie itself and what passes for a story. All right, here's the backstory, or here's where it comes from. Darban is from a race called the Kree, who are basically space people. And the Kree used to be very happy because they had this artificial intelligence that, ran their planet for them. And they pissed off Captain Marvel, so she came and killed her artificial intelligence, and then everything went to hell. And by that I mean, the air was poisoned, the water went away, the sun started to die. It's like, wait, the sun, how does that happen? You know. Anyway, so she gets her own space bangle, and then she runs around stealing other planets' air and water. And honest to God, it's really hurting me just to explain this. Um, and even though, well, none of it makes sense. Even though there are planets all over the universe with air and water, she has to pick these inhabited planets that are close to Miss Marvel because they want to or Captain Marvel, because they want to get back at her. No, sorry. Captain Marvel is a character that can drop kick a mountain into the sun. Okay. And you're going out of your way to annoy her again? How is that a plan? Never mind. Anyway, so all this backstory actually comes by way of a flashback from a movie that they didn't actually bother to make. And I'm going, yeah, that's not even the strangest thing in this. So with that premise established, a lot of wacky things happen. There's some jump rope. There's a space station that falls out of orbit for no reason at all. Samuel Jackson is in it, although I'm not sure what he's doing. There's cats with tentacles in their mouths. Don't ask. And there's body switching back and forth. And honestly, none of it makes sense. It's just a succession of event as they go through. And you know what it reminds me of? There's this comic called Axe Cop. It's a really good comic. Maybe you should try and look it up. Axe Cop was the product of two brothers, Ethan, 28 years old, comic book artist, and Malachi, his 5-year-old younger brother. And so Ethan would draw the comics, and Malachi would come up with the stories. And it was wonderfully surreally inventive because, if you've got a 5-year-old, well, they have no idea of logic, no idea of sequence, they barely got object permanence. And so what you had was this wonderful stream of inventiveness where just insane things just kept happening. Axe Cop, well, he was called Axe Cop because he had an axe, not a gun. He'd be chasing a bank robber down the street, and the bank robber would be getting away, so Axe Cop would hitch a ride on a dinosaur that just happened to be standing around. and then the robbers would go into like a department store, and then they would pretend to be hats, and that they'd escape that way. This is kind of that sort of just rush, headlong succession of events. It's as if the Marvels was written by a 5-year-old with maybe some, ADHD teenager to add some snarky comments all the way through. Um, and so it really kind of defies logic. I mean, look, if all you want from a movie is, movie and pictures and characters on a screen and CGI going around and around, Marvels is perfectly fine. Um, so, and maybe for some people, that's all you really need. But for me, I just watch it for Brie Larson's expressions. Anyway, thanks for listening.